What is up, world? What is up, people? This is Mr. You Know Who It Is, aka G-Man Live, aka G-Man Live Fifth on it, aka G-Man Keeps It Real. What up, people? What up, world? How you feeling out there? How you doing? I know that you have been long awaiting my video review of the Tupac movie, biopic, All Eyez on Me. Now, hold on, wait, calm down, wait. I know that actors and actresses of all creeds and colors. I know that all the crowd fan favorites of Tupac and his legacy of Tupac Shakur. I know that all of y'all have seen this movie. I know that, there will be a lot of spoilers in this video. I know that there have been negative reviews of this movie. I know that. Like, we're going to get into that. I know Jada Pinkett Smith has had something to say about it. I know Snoop Dogg had something to say about it. I know Faison Love and 50 Cent, people you haven't even heard of in a while, have came out of the woodworks who have seen this movie and trashed it and gave it thumbs down. Even Tommy Sotomayor had his piece to say about it, and I'm sure there will be more reviews. But hey, let me just go ahead and get this off. Let me go ahead and get into the pros and cons of this movie. And me myself personally, I've asked people around me how they felt about the movie, and they said it was, lackluster. It was poorly done. But let's think about this here, man. We have a Hollywood produced movie, Hollywood production. Mainly some of the writers, or most of the writers, were Caucasian or white, which I'm not saying that has overly or mass influence on how it's depicted, but you got to think about it. Like, it was a $40 million movie, projected to $60 million, produced and directed by another person and Benny Boom. I can't think of the other person's name right now. It was LJ, LT or something like that. But Benny Boom, we all know he is a music video director. He's along the lines of Little X and Hype Williams. We know who Benny Boom is. He ruled the TV and cable syndicate for music videos back in the day. In the late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s. That's just how it operates, man. But nowadays, anybody with a camera can direct a music video and it can be popping. It's just about the music itself, really. But that's neither here nor there. But I just want to say, we gotta take into account how this was made. We got to take into account how long it took, because I think it only took like a year or maybe less than that. Like last year, 2016, they were shooting the whole thing, so of course it may seem like a rushed job, and yes, I will be pointing the pros and cons out in this movie. And yes, this will be a spoiler alert. This will be a spoiler video, okay? Like, I am going to go into some elements in the movie. So let's begin. I don't know who the reporter was, but I know he was played by Hill Harper in the movie, the interviewer of Tupac Shakur while he was incarcerated. The movie opens up with I shed so many tears. We're gonna get all into this. We're gonna tell the story, how it was written. So you see Tupac Shakur, or the guy that plays or imitates him. You see him in jail. You see him in lockup. He's outside, and he's going into the prison. He's being transferred or something. And he meets with the interviewer or reporter, who's played by Hill Harper, and he starts saying, well, tell me about your life. Tell me where it all began, Tupac. Well, and he walks in and sees the black cop, who escorts Tupac in. He's like, I guess every brother ain't a brother. And the black cop is like, What is that supposed to mean? Negro, I'll lock you up too. So, you know, it's one of them type of, you know, slave driver, slave movie theme type things. You know what I'm saying? Which I guess that kind of threw the audience off too. But hey, that's prison life. You really are a slave in prison. So, you know, the reporter was asking Tupac about his life and where it started. And, you know, what really got me about the beginning of this movie is that, you know, they show that Afeni Shakur, you know, the mother of Tupac, was pregnant, walking out of a courthouse back in the 70s or the 60s. I think it was the 60s or whatever. And a white reporter asked Afeni Shakur how she felt about being released and how, you know, aren't you glad to be free? What are you going to do? Shouldn't you be celebrating your freedom? And she's like, you know, Afeni Shakur was telling her, you white crack nuts, you white beast, I will never be free. As long as we're in this country, we will never be free. And I have to live with this baby in my womb. And, you know, and I forgot, you know, the dude she was messing with that's supposed to be Tupac's stepdaddy. I forgot his name. Look, y'all got to forgive me, man. I'm not too hip on these names of these pro-black, Black Panther, you know, names and all that, you know. But, you know, he played a solid brother. You know what I'm saying? The dude who played Tupac's stepdaddy. And, you know, and Afeni Shakur was, you know, just on her high horse, man. She was going off on them news reporters like, you know, get your cracker ass out of my face when I got this black baby in my belly. I'm going to give her to the world. You know, it almost felt like, you know, she, you know, felt like a radical version of the Virgin Mary and Jesus. You know, like, it felt like, you know, oh man, like, you know, I don't know who put this seed in my belly. You know, whoever was acting like, you know, whoever that actress was who was doing Afeni Shakur was very over the top. Very over the top. We're going to get more into the Afeni Shakur character as we go on. You're going to hear about it. But, you know, her stepdad, not her stepdad, Tupac's stepdad, to him and his sister, you know, he was like a radical movement person, you know, like a Black Panther, pro-black person who was, you know, on his podium preaching the black gospel, you know, and telling black folks, you know, well, you know, we have to lay down these white folks, and, you know, these white folks are bad and black people are oppressed, you know, the whole rhetoric, you know. I really don't know what he said word for word, I forget. But, you know, it was some influential stuff. And, you know, Afeni Shakur is, you know, amazed by Tupac's stepdaddy, and they lived together. And, you know, what really got me is, you know, they were celebrating Christmas. I'm like, of all things, you know, pro-blacks go against holidays. You know, y'all celebrating Christmas, and then they gave Tupac and his sister notebooks for Christmas. And then the stepdad ran off because the cops and the FBI were chasing them. And then, you know, as Tupac goes on with the story, you know, he talks about the cops and, you know, the FBI following his mother and the family, and, you know, and then the cops storm in the apartment and put a gun to Afeni Shakur's head, like, you know, where's your husband? Where's your where's the stepfather, bitch? You know, you know, the cops is ultrally racist. You know, the fucking FBI is ultrally racist. You know, drawing guns on Tupac and his sister, and, you know, Afeni's pinned down to the floor, and she's cussing them out like, you motherfuckers, get out of my fucking house. You ain't got no fucking warrant. You know, she's giving them all the Miranda rights and telling them, you know, this section says, this law says you can't be in my house. You know, and you know, it kind of reminded me of that young lady who got stopped by the cops, and then later she got shot in her apartment. I forgot what her name was. You know, I mean, I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. You gotta forgive me. I'm sorry, but you know, that shit happened like last year where the girl got shot with her 2 kids, and one of the kids got shot too by the cops because she had a shotgun or something. Kind of reminded me of that news story, but you know, Afeni, of course, didn't get shot. She, you know, cooperated. I don't think she told him where he was. You know, where's Shakur? where's Shakur? You know, because that's where Tupac got his name from, his stepdad. And you know, then they were getting followed by the FBI, and she was telling the FBI, you know, fuck you, you cracker ass motherfuckers, you know, you can't follow me. This is against code, law, act, section, this and that. And you know, the white cop or FBI agent was like, you better watch those kids. You better make sure they grow up. You better make sure they eat, or something like, you know, some slick shit, you know, and I'm watching you, bitch, you know, and you know, then, you know, Afeni is telling Tupac, look, you ain't never free in this world. You are a black man in this world, and you must grow up a black man, and blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. And, you know, and Tupac, you know, is asking about his stepdad, and, you know, is he really a robber? Is he really robbing banks? Because, you know, that's what the FBI was on him about, you know, because he was robbing banks, stealing shit, trying to support his family. And you know, she's like, I don't give a fuck about this capitalist society. We gonna rob them. What else are we supposed to do? We can't get no jobs, and you know, and all this, and we ain't treated fairly, and we ain't got no rights. And you know, and Tupac's like, I want to be a revolutionary. And then it goes on into, you know, him growing up in I guess Baltimore, because that's where they end up moving after the FBI raids them in New York. You know, they're of course they're kicked out of their own house in New York because the FBI knows where they're at. You know, so they moved to Baltimore, and Tupac is like a teenager and he's acting now, and that's where he met Jada Pinkett Smith. Which they saying that Jada Pinkett Smith is mad because she is being portrayed as his main bae or whatever. But his main bae is later on in the story is Quincy Jones's daughter. So I don't even know what she's talking about. You know, I don't know. Like, they didn't fuck in the movie, they didn't kiss, they didn't smooch, none of that shit. So I don't understand. But I guess since Tupac was writing love letters to Jada Pinkett in the movie, you know, the real Jada Pinkett felt some kind of way. You know, and everybody's talking about how bad of a job Cat Graham, who portrayed Jada Pinkett, did. You know, she did a bad job. She was a terrible actress. It is what it is. You know, I take everything as face value. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to the movies to look for, you know, I'm not going to the movies with a notebook and a fucking tablet and following along on Wikipedia of the events of Tupac's life. Like, oh yeah, this ain't right. You know, I know in my head what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a movie. You know, it's like a play. It's like an adaptation of what really happened. You know, adaptations don't follow key points and everything you remember of Tupac. You know what I'm saying? They don't follow everything that you remember what was on TV or what you remember happened backstage. It's not going to follow every little detail. It's just going to follow news stories and events, major events. You know, that's what a biopic does, man. You gotta, it's an adaptation. It's not going to be all the way there, you know, so you got to keep that in mind. But anyway, he moves through Baltimore. A white Jewish lady takes him under his wing, a talent agent or something, you know. His name is MC New York or something, you know, back then, you know, and she introduces, you know, the white Jewish lady introduces him to like a Digital Underground, you know, the guy with the big brown nose and the weird funny hats, you know, out there in Cali. You know, I guess I'm moving a little bit too ahead because, you know, he moves from Baltimore to Cali, you know, with his aunt and all that. And he's seeing crackheads and people stabbing each other because they smoking too much crack. Or, you know, it really focused on the crack era. And, you know, him and his sister and his mom was up there. And that's when his mom falls subdue to crack. You know, as he's working with Digital Underground, and you know, he starts rapping in the studio, and he starts getting more into his craft and the music, and he's standing on stage and he's like, you know, this is where I can see myself in 10 years. You know, I can see myself being a rapper, you know, an entertainer, you know, reaching out to my people, you know. And he's doing all these deep songs, and Digital Underground is in the studio falling asleep on his ass, and there's a lot going on, man, you know. And you know, of course, his mom is on crack. He needs more money to get out of that environment, and you know, and he later goes into Interscope, you know, with his albums that he's made, you know, and he gets signed by Interscope. and they give him a deal, which I don't know why that didn't last. I don't know why that didn't work out for him. But you know, there was a scene in the Interscope office where the daughter of the executive, you know, came out and she was like, "Oh, Tupac, I love your music." And he was like, "Yo, which song do you like?" And you know, the daughter looked at the executive, you know, her father, and she was like, "Can I say it, Daddy? Can I say it?" You know, she was looking at him like, yeah. He was like, "Go ahead, daughter, go ahead." And she was like, "Fuck the world." And you know, everybody just started laughing in the theater, you know, because you know the white girl just said, "Fuck the world," you know, and he's, you know, Tupac like, right, you know. So I mean, it showed a lot of character of Tupac. It showed a lot of his relentlessness, a lot of his swag. You know what I'm saying? A lot of his swag was in this movie. That's what the movie was about. Just showing how charismatic and witty he was, you know, just showing that he was off the cuff. He wasn't no sugar-coated nigga, you know. He wasn't no P's and Q's type of nigga. Like, he was gonna say what he wanted to say, and that proved it in his I guess his interview with Interscope and their execs. You know, they were trying to say that Brenda Got a Baby, you know, was not a good song to put out as a solo artist, because the first song he ever did was with Digital Underground, same song for a soundtrack. I forgot what the movie was for the soundtrack, but that was the first video he was in. They showed that, but then they showed Brenda's Got a Baby. They showed that video, which I thought was very nice, how they depicted it. Like, that was his first break, Brenda's Got a Baby. He pushed that song, Brenda's Got a Baby, onto Interscope so they could sign him and they could put that song out. But they didn't want to put the song out because they said it's marketing hell. Like, they can't promote somebody getting, you know, about a woman getting raped by a cousin and having a baby on the floor and, you know, being a rape victim. They couldn't put music out like that, you know. But back in those days, they had devil worshiping rock music. So what was the problem, you know? Because it was a black man talking about that shit, you know? Anyway, you know, so Tupac got his deal. And that's when he started fucking with this dude, Mad Shots or Mad somebody, you know, this underground drug dealing motherfucker. You know, him and Biggie knew, you know, yep, him and Biggie hung out in New York, you know, and Tupac ventured out in New York, and that's where he got most of his funding from, this dude named Mad Shots or Mad somebody. You know, if I got the name wrong, if I'm fucking it up, let me know in the comments. But he was some type of drug kingpin or something, and later on, you know, finding out, you know, this dude was trying to fuck him up anyway. You know, this Mad Shots dude showed that Biggie on the set of what's the movie? Oh God, I'm skipping around parts anyway. You know, it did show that Tupac was in a movie called Juice. It did show those scenes, but it also showed Above the Rim. And it showed Mad Shots or Mad whatever his name is at Above the Rim, and you know, he was funding Tupac, he was supporting Tupac, giving him money, giving him all the airfare. And Tupac also had another manager, but I guess they weren't really that tight. Whatever his name is. I'm bad with names. All I can do is tell you what I saw in the movie. But you know, Tupac was living a life. He had a lot of bitches. He had a lot of money coming in. He had a lot of people helping him. But you know, find out that a lot of those people that were helping him wanted a big return back. The Money Shots dude tried to put this girl on him, you know, and she was fucking him and sucking him. Sucked his dick in the fucking hallway of a club and shit. Grinding on this dude, you know, fucking him and rubbing on him, and you know, and he didn't want her no more, and she tried to put a rape case on him, and that's how he ended up going to fucking prison. Because you know, first of all, they shot that motherfucker, you know, Mad Shots or whatever. They shot his ass because, you know, he was on TV. You know, Tupac was on TV confessing that, you know, he was in trouble because of this dude, because somebody put a rape case on him, and Mad Shots didn't want that to come out, so they shot his ass. And you know, then Tupac thought that Biggie had something to do with it, because Biggie was coming up to the hospital trying to see him, and Biggie put out this song while Tupac was in jail. It was a lot of mixed up events going on, you know. That's what started the East Coast West Coast beef, because you know, Tupac thought that Biggie was in on trying to, off Tupac. Tupac was like, I saw you in the penthouse and y'all set me up. I was trying to go to your party and I got shot while I was going, and, of course, Biggie put out the song Who Shot You, and a dude in jail was trying to tell Tupac don't feed into it and don't retaliate. But, when Tupac got back to the interviewer that was interviewing him in prison, he was like, yo, is this thing on? I got something for you. Suge Knight was introduced in many intervals of the movie. He made himself known like, look, Tupac, I got you. That Mad Shots dude, Biggie and Puff and all them, fuck them. I got you. You know what I'm saying? If Interscope dropped you and all them dropped you, I got you. You can come to death row. And he went to death row, and he let it be known on national TV that he was going to death row. Oh, and he put his mom in rehab, got her back out, and the president was talking about how Tupac was a bad influence on everybody and media and children and all that. And, Afeni Shakur, of course, I know I was skipping all through the movie, but, y'all got to see it for yourself. But Afeni Shakur, with her, stereotypical black mother ass, the actress that portrayed Afeni Shakur, she was like, these motherfuckers want to see you dead. They want to see you dead. And, they're going to give you the tools to kill yourself. And, basically, Afeni Shakur told Tupac, I got you when you get out of jail. And Suge Knight was telling you, I got you when you get out of jail. Everything we told you was true about the white man. The white man gonna take your money. The white man is gonna do this and that to you. And he got out and fucked with death row. And I guess since, it was black folks, it was all black. Death row was all black. He felt like he was safe, but really he wasn't, because Suge Knight was fucking up his own people. Throwing them down basements and beating their ass and shooting motherfuckers and stuffing food down their throat. And and the fucking major part of the movie, they had everybody rolling with Snoop Dogg, man. They fucked Snoop Dogg's roll up. They put some fucking whack ass wannabe in place of Snoop Dogg, man. Didn't even look like the motherfucker. Had a sound bite on this motherfucker. In the studio with Tupac. I mean, he had the outfit on, but it looked like a fucking Halloween reject. And they put a sound bite on him to add insult to injury. Like, nigga, we know that ain't your voice. We know Snoop Dogg voiced over. This is some fucking Disney shit. Like, that is a con of it. You know what I'm saying? That's a con. Okay. So, besides the stereotypical Afeni Shakur portrayal, but Tupac was doing songs back to back. They showed Dr. Dre. They showed everybody, you know what I'm saying? And they showed how Tupac was coming out on stage doing the House of Blues and doing these concerts, and how each song represented a political movement, in support of women, in support of mostly women, Dear Mama and Keep Your Head Up. It was more like, I'm trying to cater to women, but after a while, after that whole rape case, that false rape accusation, it was like, what, fuck these bitches. Yeah, Big Al fucked your wife, hit him up, he came out fierce and ready to go, so it was a wild experience, so, of course, Tupac and Biggie are feuding, and supposedly, and then Tupac meets Quincy Jones' daughter. Quincy Jones' daughter don't like him at first because he said some bullshit about Quincy Jones and talking about all he do is make. I guess Quincy Jones went at Tupac and said Tupac music wasn't real, or Tupac music was too graphic, and Tupac said that Quincy Jones, all he do is fuck white women and make ugly babies, make fucked up looking babies. Oh man, and Quincy Jones' daughter didn't appreciate that, but Tupac wanted that ass, so he got that ass. He got Quincy Jones' daughter. See, that's how That's how he got back at Quincy Jones, by fucking his daughter. See, y'all gotta think. How else would you get back at a man who's talking shit about you? You fuck Faith Evans, then you fuck Quincy Jones' daughter. We don't know if he really fucked Faith, but indications say, Oh, another con of the movie. They say Faith Evans, I'm tongue tied. They say Faith Evans had an iPhone in the movie, iPhone 6 or some shit. Taking pictures with that motherfucker. Like, that's how they got the photos for the paper, because they took pictures on the iPhone. Which I don't remember that, but okay, But anyway, yeah, this movie was kind of rushed. But let's just say, Tupac, he got with his girl, the Quincy Jones' daughter, Kadita, whatever her name is. And Tupac's mother meets his woman on set. Afina walks in the trailer and she's like, "Oh, you Hollywood now. You on the set of Gridlock, and you making a movie now, and oh, I can tell her mom's white. She's feeding you vegetables and making sure you eat right, and no black woman do that. But that's a lie. A lot of white women are fat as fuck. A lot of white women are chunky. A lot of white women eat a lot of grease and cake and cheese and all that shit. And meats and fat processed foods. That's a lie. Well, every white woman ain't healthy. I just want to put that out. They healthy weight. They healthy. They big girls, but a lot of white girls ain't on that healthy tip. So Afina Shakur was just basically, the way they portrayed her was like just ultra over the top, stereotypical old black mother. Oh, you can tell your mama's white. You kissing my boy in front of me, and you feeding him grapes and fruits and vegetables and shit. The fuck? Like she won't used to seeing fruits and vegetables. Oh, you ain't eating chicken and beer? You ain't drinking liquor no more? I like this Kadada. Like they got along just perfect. Like, I'm like, oh man. I just rolled my eyes, so that was another con, so Tupac and his mom are talking, and Tupac's mom is checking on him, and they seem to be close and have a close-knit relationship, and all that. And Suge Knight is forcing Tupac to get into this East Coast West Coast beef. He does it, and divides the East Coast and West Coast. And Tupac is like, after a while he's thinking, these people are trying to get me to do some wild shit. One of Suge Knight's boys come in talking about he got his chain snatched by a bad boy motherfucker, some bad boy pussy ass nigga, and and I'm thinking to myself, you as big as you are, who snatched your fucking chain? Like, you a blood, like you a fucking gang member. Who's snatching your fucking chain? You mean to tell me people from Bad Boy is kicking your ass? Little C's kicked your ass and stole your chain? Like, really? And really, like, niggas from Bad Boy, the Bad Boy Mafia is kicking y'all ass? Like, y'all some weak ass motherfuckers if that's happening, There's some shit that didn't make no sense. The storyline wise, some shit that really didn't click with me. So they were trying to get Tupac to war with Biggie and war with Bad Boy, and because, oh yeah, Biggie said some shit about you getting shot at his party and shit. And, oh, you remember you saw them niggas, and Suge was just insinuating like, yo, we gotta get these bad boy faggots. We gotta get these bad boy pussy ass punk niggas, and it was a lot of, I don't know how true all this stuff is, but it was a lot of just reaching with that East Coast, West Coast. Because if I remember correctly, even in the Biggie movie, even in the Notorious movie, Tupac was like, look, it's just business. Even in documentaries, even behind the music, Tupac said it's just business. It wasn't no real beef. It was just something to hype them up, just something to give them credit, something to put their news in the media again, something to circulate a buzz, Tupac versus Biggie, who wins, but people took it so seriously, these two ended up being killed, so there was a lot of reaching in this movie, man. Like, you know, oh yeah, it's Death Row versus Bad Boy, which it was, but it wasn't. You know, you got to think about the PR moves being made behind the scenes, you know. So Tupac, to make a long story short, you know, he's trying to back out of Death Row. He's telling Suge, look, I did my 3 albums. He's counting each song like, look, I gotta get out of this deal. Y'all crazy. Like, I ain't trying to get killed in this motherfucker. I see how y'all do people who owe y'all money. So Suge Knight is like, you know what, you owe me so much. You just can't get out of this deal. Like, you forgot about these royalties. You forgot, you know, and that's what, I guess that's what happens with the Money Shots dude. The Money Shots dude and everybody else, they weren't getting paid. So they tried to get money out of him by setting him up. And, you know, of course, Suge Knight, I still believe he had something to do with his murder. Because as you look at the movie, he's showing how much Tupac is in debt to Death Row and Suge Knight. You know, he's showing all the money and all the studio time, all the electricity bill, the water bill, the cable bill. You know, he's showing all the bills, you know. He's like, you ain't paid this, you ain't paid that to me, you owe me this, you are in the hole, Tupac. You owe me your life right now. You know, if you back out of this deal, I don't know what I'm gonna do to you. You know, like, I don't know. Like, you owe me too much, nigga. You know, and Tupac's like, damn, man, I can't get out of this Death Row shit. You know, and he's telling Kadida that he's gonna get out, but he can't. There was no way out for Tupac, you know, with the Death Row deal. You know, he owed too much. He was recording songs back to back. That's added studio time. That's added promotion. You know, he was putting out 3 albums and shit. You know, it added up, and he couldn't fit the bill. You know, so Suge Knight, you know, after, you know, Tupac says, look, I'm trying to go my own way. I ain't trying to be with Death Row no more. He was like, look, man, you can be Death Row East. You can go back to the East Coast where you came from, and you can promote Death Row East, which I thought was a stupid idea. Nobody on the East Coast fucked with Tupac like during that time. And he's trying to promote Death Row East. Like, he would have got shot again. Like, Suge Knight is a slick motherfucker. Suge Knight is a slick motherfucker. Like, I think he was my favorite character in the movie. Like, he was a slick motherfucker. How you gonna put that man back in the East Coast when you know the East Coast didn't fuck with Tupac? Like, he's in the East Coast talking about, fuck this Nas shit, fuck this Biggie shit, fuck that Bad Boy shit. We gonna promote Death Row East. If you wanna fuck with Tupac and you don't fuck with them niggas, fuck with us. And I'm like, how you gonna do this? How you gonna put that man out there like that? You know Tupac don't give a fuck. So Kadida's like, you know, why you still with these cats? I thought you were leaving Suge, you know. And you know, Tupac getting in fights in Vegas still over this damn chain that this damn blood member lost. And, you know, now you know that the movie is about to close. It's about to cut off. You know, the movie is coming to an end when the last stop was in Vegas. So he's, you know, he puts his green, he goes back to the hotel after he done beat this dude up over a chain, you know, and it shows the surveillance cameras in Vegas and all that shit. You know, he puts on his green jersey, then he puts the blood chain on or whatever, and he's riding with Suge, you know what I'm saying? And Kadida's trying to stop him from going, and he's like, look, you know, they try to make it like a love scene or something. Like, look, I have to go out here and represent. I can't be scared. I can't be scared out here. I can't be fearing. This is my city. You know, I got this block. And, you know, of course, you know, I'm skipping over the movie again. Y'all got to go see it, man. I can't explain every little detail, but, you know, Jada Pinkett Smith makes another appearance in the movie where, you know, she's trying to figure out why Pac is talking so reckless against Biggie and Faith, and why he's shitting on Faith's name and trying to say that he fucked Faith, and, you know, and he's like, look, I got this, I know what I'm doing. And Jada Pinkett, the character who played Jada Pinkett, is like, oh my God, I can't believe you act like this, and you are like, you know. And it's just a lot of crazy shit that went on, man. That man was living fast. Tupac was living quite fast, man. And the way the movie ended with him getting shot up, you know, and he was playing, you know, he was trying to promote Blackberry Molasses, whoever fucking sung that song. I know Bobby Valentino was in that group. I forgot what the group was called. Hey, you gotta forgive me. I don't know these 90s names, okay? You gotta forgive me. I don't know. I was a young boy when all this shit was happening. But you know, he's riding with Suge, and you know, Suge like, you know, turn that soft ass shit off. We death row, you know, we hardcore, man. And Tupac like, you know, this is a ghetto gospel right here, man. This is hood gospel. You know, we need some R&B. We don't need all this hardcore shit all the time, man. We need some mellow shit. We need some soft shit. He's like, Suge like, man, turn that shit off, you know. And they riding down the road, you know, people taking pictures of them, and then they stop by some girls, and girls like, oh shit, is that Pac? And you know, and they like, yeah, this me. Yeah, we going to this club, and you know, and all that. And then a car rolls up on him, and blah, 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 and he gets shot up. Tupac can't breathe. He has complications, and he dies. And this whole this loud ass gospel music starts playing. Fred Hammond. And you know, it's like, oh, he will protect me, he will shield me, oh Lord. And, you know, and the Negro spirituals come out. You know, it's funny how everybody believes in God, and Negro spiritual comes out when you about to die. Like, it's fun. I mean, I ain't saying it's a funny scene. I'm just saying, this is what got. Now we've been hearing all this bitches and old shit. Now the gospel music comes in when he about to die. Too late. But I mean, the way it went off, it just left me like, you know, okay, nobody found the killers. Tupac died 5 days later. Unsolved mysteries type stuff. It was kind of like, wow, well, that's a void in my life. Nobody knows who killed this man. We know who killed him. You know, it's just like they ain't going to say it, though. I guess that's why Suge Knight had no problem with the movie. And I guess that's why... of course, P. Diddy didn't have no problem with it. They was like, oh, that's nice. That's good. Because nobody was exposed, really. They put it all on Tupac. They put all his faults on him. You know what I'm saying? Which Tupac confessed, look, I am a loudmouth motherfucker. My big mouth. My big mouth. You know, he did confess, look, I do talk shit. You know, but these motherfuckers who supposed to be supporting me ain't really got my back. Because I owe them money for these records and shit I recorded, and these bitches and hoes I done fucked, and all these club invites. I owe them money. So they wanted him dead, man. He owed a lot of people, I believe, you know. But you know, the pros of this movie, since I done went through all the cons, I done said the whole movie and went through the cons. The pros of this movie is, you know, that the Outlaws, some of the original members of the Outlaws were in the movie, you know, and they did a good job. It depicted the historical events that went around Tupac's music and how the government, you know, it was cool to see how the government was going after him because, you know, of his music, just because of some songs, you know, that they felt so enamored to go after one man for his songs. You know, that's how much of an impact Tupac had on the world. Feminists, white men, you know, white liberals, white Republicans, all the motherfuckers didn't like Tupac. You know what I'm saying? They ain't fuck with that dude ever. You know what I'm saying? They wanted him gone, you know. So that was cool to see the historical news stories on him, and it was cool to see the backstories on how he got locked up and why he went to court, who did it, you know what I'm saying? It was cool to see how Suge Knight was portrayed, and it was cool to see how, you know, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you know, Tupac and Snoop Dogg had beef because Snoop Dogg was saying that he rode with Biggie and Tupac. Can't play both sides though, you know what I'm saying? So Tupac didn't fuck with Snoop Dogg. You know, that was some insightful shit to learn. I ain't know that. I ain't know Snoop Dogg and Tupac weren't cool. I didn't know that. You know, that was cool to learn. There was a lot of shit that just went down that was in the movie that I didn't know. I mean, I knew of it, but I didn't know so much in depth. You know, I didn't know that he was fucking with Quincy Jones' daughter, or either I kind of forgot about it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. But, you know, killing two birds with one stone. You know, Faith Evans and Kadada, Kadada Jones. You know, that's just how he did it, man. And I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I can't really sit here and say that I hated it. I enjoyed the music. I enjoyed the performances. That's what I came to see. I came to see a performance. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come to see everything to be historically in order, factual diction. I didn't come to see, oh, well, this isn't how he said it back then. And, you know, because I don't know. I was a kid. This is for millennials. This movie is for millennials. This movie is for young folks to go to. And there was a lot of young folks viewing this movie. People who really promote Tupac that don't even know his story. This is a movie you need to see. If you don't know the story of Tupac, you do need to see this. But if you know the story of Tupac and you grew up, if you were a teenager or a young adult when Tupac was making music, of course you're going to be mad. If you grew up around Tupac and you knew Tupac personally, of course you're going to be mad. Because this is for people, I'd say it's for shit, probably Caucasians who be black appropriating, be wearing these Tupac shirts and don't even know who the fucking man was. This movie is for them. This movie is for the people, the old folks who didn't know what a Tupac was back in the day when he was popping and when he was alive. And this movie is something y'all can go see to check yourself and understand what this man's plight was and understand the problems this man was facing. This is a movie for motherfuckers who are unbeknownst of Tupac Shakur. This is who the movie is made for. It's not made for you historians. It's not made for you super fanatics, because y'all always gonna find something wrong with a biopic, you know, of anybody. You know, y'all always gonna say something ain't right, you know, and that's what Hollywood does, man. Like, if we find so much fault in this All Eyez on Me movie, why don't we get a GoFundMe? Why don't we get a Kickstarter and make our own? Why don't we do it the right way? Why are we still depending on Hollywood to make something great and make something actual and factual when you know all they do is fantasize a character instead of telling the truth? This movie was about Tupac's swag and charisma and his dealings and his going through life through hardships. That was all it showed. His hardships, his family, the background of what was going on. You know, it just showed the base of what was going on during that time that he was making music. That's all. It didn't go in depth. Sorry, this movie did not go in. It's not an in-depth movie. It's just a biopic. It's just a fucking glimmer of events that Tupac went through. That's all it is. It's not going to show you and it's not going to tell you everything. You know, so for people who are looking for something they didn't know and you know everything about Tupac, I wouldn't advise for you to look at it. Wait for the DVD to come out. Wait for the bootleg. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do. But for the people like me who just want to enjoy good music, who just want to enjoy the celebration in the movie and, you know, and just take it for what it is and just enjoy myself in the movie theaters like I was laughing, I was crying, I was giggling, I was smirking, I was like, oh shit, like, oh damn, you know, I was into the movie. It was action packed to me. You know, it was a good story, you know. So I mean, it wasn't all actual and factual of a story. It wasn't like to the book, to the line, to the letter, but it was action packed to me. You know, it was enjoyable. But that's my video review of All Eyez on Me. You know, my Tupac biopic review. And I know y'all been waiting for actually y'all haven't been waiting for. Y'all ain't even know I fucking went to go see it. But I just want to say rest in peace to the late and great Tupac Shakur and his mother, Afena Shakur. Oh yeah, in which they didn't, you know, the Shakur family didn't want them to put this movie out for obvious reasons. But you know, like I said, like I just finished saying, you know, if you got the money to put together to make a better movie, do it. Those people complaining, Jada Pinkett, Faizon Love, 50 Cent, if y'all got all this mouth, put your money where your mouth is. Make a better Tupac movie. Find better characters. Were some parts of the movie overly done and overly saturated and over silly and over exaggerated? Hell yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yes, a lot of that shit was over exaggerated, but put your money where your mouth is. If you can make a better production about Tupac, go ahead. But until then, this is all we have, you know? So for those complainers and whiners, do yourself a favor. Put your money where your mouth is. Get a GoFundMe and don't boycott the movie. Make a better one. If you feel like Benny Boom did a terrible, crappy job, make a better movie. Get John Singleton. He don't like the movie at all, you know, and I'm sure he got some backing to make another Tupac movie. I'm sure Spike Lee could throw some jabs. Sure, Spike Lee could throw some damn pointers in. Get another damn director to do it. Hell, get Michael Bay. M. Shala. Get James Cameron. Get somebody else to do it. If y'all so mad at this movie, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and complain. I paid my $12 to see it and I enjoyed my damn self. I enjoyed myself. Yes, there were some parts in the movie that were bogus, but I enjoyed that shit. So y'all be the judge yourself. Don't ever take nobody's word for it, man. Go see it for yourself, man. And y'all subscribe. I'm out of here. Peace.